Good morning. My name is Danny Beck, and I want to welcome you to the NuLink Early Bird Forum. As you're getting settled, I'd like to cover a few housekeeping items. All your cell phones, make sure you turn them on and the ringer's loud, so when they ring, I can invite you up here and we can talk to people on their speakerphone. If you would, make sure those are turned off. Your restrooms are through those double doors and to the right, adjacent to the hallway. The mission of the Chamber is to champion economic prosperity for our members and the greater Coweta community. Who knew that? Mark Fritz, you don't count, you've been there. But first, I'd like to get Andy Miller with Print Source. He will be giving thanks this morning.
Join me in prayer, please. Gracious Lord, we come before you this morning with humble hearts and gratefulness for your goodness to us, and ask for your guidance and your direction and your blessings over the work that we do, that we may honor you. Thank you for this time together, and I pray these things in Christ's name. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, Andy. Listed on the screens to my right and left are logos of our enhanced investors. Enhanced investors have made the commitment to ensure success of our mission through leadership and investment in the Chamber. Many of our enhanced investors are present today. If you work for one of the companies on these slides, would you please stand up and be recognized? You see that blue logo which says Beck? Just make sure y'all look at that. Just make sure that's big enough up there. Our board of directors ensure success of the Chamber and its mission. They lead the Chamber and set the direction of the Chamber. Board members, please stand and be recognized. And again, we couldn't do it without any of you guys. Our Chamber continues to enjoy growth in membership. Some of our new members are with us today. Please stand, take the microphone, and let us know who you are. Glenn, you're a new member.
Hello, I'm Kimberly Garrison. I'm from the Dolce Atlanta Peachtree Hotel and Conference Center in Peachtree City. Glad to be a part of the Coweta County Chamber.
Good morning, I'm Nancy Walden. I have a new business, GPS Vacations. I'd love to help you plan your vacations.
Dave Resslin, Noonan Chrysler Dodge Jeep, the new store down on the 34.
And they're new enhanced investors, so thank them.
All right, well, thank you very much. The Chamber is fortunate to have a rich history. Over the years, we've enjoyed steady support. Can y'all tell I'm reading this? Okay, good, because I've been practicing on that. Over the years, we've enjoyed steady support from a number of members. Each quarter, we recognize members who are reaching significant milestones in continuous membership. As I call your name, please come forward and accept our appreciation. This is celebrating 5 years of continuous membership. Harvey Berger. Sharon Rogers, GNC. There she is. Is this riveting? Okay. Your chef to go, Michelle and Brooklyn Alexander, sorry. You can slap me when And I notice you are providing the breakfast this morning, very delicious and scrumptious, I might add. All right, we're moving on to 10 years, and this is one of my favorite places to go, and I don't know if you've ever been out Roscoe Road, but Dunaway Gardens, Josh Fisher. Who here has never been to Dunaway Gardens? Man, you don't know what you're missing. That's good stuff out there. We're going to move on with 15 years, and really we're not. We're going to go on to 25 years. Standard Office System, Steve Bledsoe. All right, we're going to move on up to 30 years. Hospital Discount Drug Center, Robert Stitt. Yep, there you go. All right, 40 years, and that's pretty amazing. That's when I was born. Don Phillips, BB&T. Lindsay's, Frank and Chip Barron. Noonan Utility, Jeff Phillips, come on down. All right, and I think everybody knows this gentleman here, Piedmont Healthcare, Mr. Michael Bass. All right, unfortunately, the following members could not attend today, but we'd like to recognize them all the same. Knox Company, 5 years. J.K. Boatwright, Hooters of America. Richard Brooks, 10 years. Stemberger Cummings, 20 years. Panoply Interior Design and Consulting, 25 years. Holberg Spine Furniture, 40 years. Let's thank all members and milestones recipients today. Our ambassadors work hard to ensure each member enjoys a great chamber experience. They give of their time to ensure we can put on a world-class programs and events. Each quarter we recognize the ambassador of the quarter. This is the ambassador who obtains the highest point total for the quarter by serving the chamber, its members, and by volunteering at events and programs. This quarter's ambassador of the quarter is no stranger to this award. She received this recognition last year, and it will come as no surprise to you when you hear her name. She is always ready to help, not only through service, but leadership as well. Please welcome to the stage the Ambassador of the Quarter, Samantha Brazzi with Progressive Heating and Air. As you may be aware, this year we're focusing on prosperity in our community like never before. Has anybody heard the word prosperity in the last year? You likely know that Coweta County is the front door to prosperity. Last quarter we focused on prosperous marketing. This quarter we will focus on what makes a prosperous community. Our community is fortunate to have leaders who have a vision that ensures we continue to grow and prosper. Real quick, and I'm going to add to, this is not in the script, but we're talking about a prosperous community. Yesterday at 1 o'clock in the afternoon, I'm sitting at my desk. A man rolls up on a bicycle and wants to meet me because he'd been on Facebook and he'd seen that my company, we like to ride girly bicycles or whatever you want to call them. But he comes into my office and wants to meet me, and I go out and I talk to him, and I see he's got a bag on his bike. I was like, man, it looks like you've been on a long ride. I said, where'd you start? He said, Los Angeles. Yeah, that's amazing. And he stopped in Noonan, Georgia, and is blown away, and he's going to stay here for, probably a week just hanging out. And I just thought, man, what a great testament to our community. I mean, he's been on his bike for 2,000 miles, stops in our small town, and decides to stay for a week. So I just thought I would throw that in there. One such leader is Noonan Mayor Keith Brady. Today, Mayor Brady will share with us how the city of Noonan continues to lead our county into prosperity. Please help me welcome Mayor Keith Brady.
Good morning, everyone. This morning I'm going to talk on prosperity. That was a joke. No, that was my only joke. I appreciate being back before you. There are a lot of familiar faces here this morning. We were here this same time last month saying congratulations to the Chamber on their reaccreditation, and I'll say congratulations to you again on that great feat. It is something that took you several years, 7, I think, if I remember the timing correctly. Someone didn't get their prize, Danny.
I'll say it.
Okay, thanks. But I am here to talk to this morning about the city's position with regard to investment in our community and how we, at the city, try to enhance your dollars that you give us, because it's often said that government does not create any jobs, and that's true. Government doesn't actually create jobs, but we do an awfully good job of spending your money that you are so gracious to give us. This county has never failed to pass, with the exception of the T-Lost, which was a statewide issue, but it's never failed to pass a local SPLOST, the Special Local Option Sales Tax, and it's never failed to pass a local ELOST for the school system. And that simply is indicative of our citizens' desire that their governments, both the county and the city and the school board, that they want their governments to spend their money that they give us, that you give us, in a wise and thrifty way. And we try to do that. And I'm going to point out a few things this morning that should be obvious to you, and then I'm going to go into a few projects that we've got going on to give you kind of a city update. But over the last, starting in '06 really, the first large project that was done using your money, SPLOST money, was the Justice Center on Greenville Street. Then we had the Carnegie renovation in downtown Noonan, which took back the old Carnegie Library from the use of a courthouse back to the use of a library. And this is actually the first time in the history of our country where a Carnegie Library, of course, started out as a library, went to another use other than a library, was actually closed and transformed into another use, and then any community in our country took it back to a library, and Noonan is unique in that regard. That was a $2 million project. The courthouse renovation, of course, when the Justice Center opened, the courthouse on the Court Square was renovated, the 1904 courthouse, and then the Conference Center, Carol, which is going to open in June, is another example. These 4 projects together, $60 million worth of your money that we spent wisely, I hope you'll agree. And then in the private sector, just in the last couple of years, just the 2 examples of Piedmont Hospital, Michael, and CTCA, Jack, $250 million in capital improvements. These are just bricks and mortar numbers, and they don't count the impact, the daily impact of the ripple effect once those places become open for business and the public start, and the people who work there go to work every day, and the people who visit there come to town for whatever reason, whether they're traveling across the country on a bicycle or they're traveling to our city as a group of people from the Georgia Municipal Association did a couple of weeks ago on the Heart and Soul tour, the bus tour that traveled to several of the small cities around the state a couple of weeks ago. They create a ripple effect that creates, that is the backbone of our economy. So it's very important to recognize that, again, that the money we spend is the money you give us. The city and the county and the school board all operate on a balanced budget, which is a unique idea for government expenditures. And we do that in such a way that we also take, year after year, money to the bottom line, revenues over expenses. And that is a credit to our staff and to the way we run our operation. A couple of things on future projects that are going to be coming up, and again, I'll be talking about the amount of money we'll be spending here, since we're talking about investment in the community and prosperity. A future project for public safety, which, if any of you were, how many of you were maybe at Wadsworth Saturday night? Is anybody at Wadsworth, or have been in the Wadsworth building? Or, I have to ask this question, how many of you have been to the police department on Perry Street? Well, if you have, you know that we need a new public safety building. We are cramped for a city our size in that facility. It also doubles as our municipal court. And that is not a pleasant experience, the court experience aside, of having to go into the physical space that we call a courtroom now. So we are in the process of, in fact, yesterday we were interviewing the contractor at Rist that will be coming on board with us, or Hasco. That wasn't the contractor at Rist. Where's Hasco? Architect and engineers we were interviewing yesterday. Staff was interviewing. I stepped in for about 5 minutes and had to go somewhere else after listening for a few minutes. But we're in the process of doing that. I'm here to announce this morning, though, that the site for that, and I don't think it's been publicly announced, the site for that location is going to be the old Hannah Home site. I don't know if many of you know where that is. It's across the street from the Bank of Coweta. Or I guess it's Bank of North Georgia at this point, on Bullsboro Drive. It's centrally located. It's as close to downtown as we could get it for that particular purpose. But it has frontage not only on Bullsboro, but also on the backside of it on Augusta Drive. So it has dual road frontage, and we think it'll be a great location for a public safety building. That's an $8.5 million project that should be completed, we hope, probably by the end of next year, or the beginning of the next. The West Georgia, University of West Georgia project is going to be the rehab of the Noonan Hospital. How many of you have not heard of that project? Okay, well that's good news. This renovation for West Georgia and the relocation of their campus is one of the most important projects that the city and the county and West Georgia, the Board of Regents, have going on in our community. There are other projects that have been very important, but this to me gives us the opportunity to afford our young people and older folks alike an opportunity to go to classes that Kathy has described in an expanded curriculum environment. That's one of the things that we wanted to make sure when we were negotiating with West Georgia and with the Board of Regents was that they would ensure us that the curriculum that they were providing now, which is fine, but would be expanded, so that at one point in time, and it won't be when it opens, but at one point in time, we'll begin to attract students from outside of our area who will want to come to Noonan to live, to go to college. So that's critically important to us. It's a $15 million project. The money breaks down like this. The Noonan Hospital, is anybody here from the old Noonan Hospital Board? No one here this morning? But the old Noonan Hospital Board, who still owns the campus, will donate the campus and approximately $4 million to the city of Noonan. And the city of Noonan will take the lead, along with some financial help from the Coweta County, in constructing or renovating the campus to the specifications of the Board of Regents and West Georgia College. At the point in time that we have a deliverable product, we finish the project, the Board of Regents will pay us $5 million for the campus. Well, anybody in the room can do the math, and I've told you it's a $15 million project. The $4 million and the $5 million are, of course, $9 million. That leaves $6 million hanging out there for somebody to absorb. You've heard me through the years, and I've stood up here many years and said how proud I am of the fact that the city of Noonan has no long-term debt. And we still don't have any long-term debt. But the only project that I've ever seen in my 20 years in office that really warrants us having any long-term debt at all is this project. And we will incur that long-term debt to be able to pay off those bonds over a period of time. So after today, after a bit from now, I hope to be able to stand here and say we have $6 million in long-term debt that is well deserved by West Georgia College. Once let me go back up to the public safety building for just a minute. Once it's finished and the police move out of Wadsworth, we'll have an opportunity to renovate that building, and we hope that the community will come together in such a way that they did with the Carnegie building and tell us that they want us to use that for the arts. We think that's another key component to having a well-rounded community, and we think that that building, considering Charles Wadsworth and his legacy of what he has provided to us with the renovation of the auditorium, will be well received as an arts community. A couple of other things. I get on my soapbox here for just a second and talk about one thing that really that I'm really keenly aware of in our community, and I'm sure all of you are too, is what I would call a litter problem or a litter issue. Keep Noonan Beautiful is working diligently to enhance our Keep Noonan Beautiful program. You're going to see that come forward and be unveiled here shortly. I consider a litter-free community to be as much of an economic development tool as a good workforce or a good location. Certainly, anybody who comes into your town and sees trash and litter on your streets has second thought about wanting to move there. And I don't know how the rest of you feel about it in the room, but if you haven't had the opportunity as a business owner to be a partner and Keep Noonan Beautiful, Hasco actually is Carol Duffy's direct report at the City of Noonan. His business development department is the one that actually has that housed in his side of his department. Get in touch with Hasco and become a sponsor of a street, either in your neighborhood or around your business somewhere, and then actively pick up the litter in the street on a regular basis. And it's very important to us that we have a litter-free community. If you see an issue that you think needs to be reported, call me or call Hasco, and we'll try our best to take care of it. But it's a huge economic issue, economic development issue, just as any other resource we have. A couple of things real quickly, and I think Chip and Frank will attest to this. Real estate is on a rebound of sorts. in Noonan and Coweta County, and the other bankers in the room, I think, will agree to that too. Our inventory is at a very low level, and we have had more housing starts this year than we have to date from last year, and last year was better than the year before. So we're seeing an increase there, and we're seeing people move into our community, and we're seeing people that we haven't seen in a long time actually move up from where they may be in this size house or this price range house, want to actually move up in the community into the next house. So that's very encouraging for us as a community, and for those of us who are also in the real estate business. So we think it's turning the corner. I don't think we're there yet. I hope you probably agree with me on that. But I think we're headed in the right direction here in our community, where other communities are not, still not headed in the right direction. You see on the board, I'll change subjects just a second. You see on the board a map on both sides, and we got an election this year. The city elections are always off-year elections. We don't get mired down in the muck of the federal issues or statewide issues, so we're always nonpartisan elections. I am up for election this year and will qualify to run for another term in August. Also up this year are Ray DeBose and Rochelle. They are in the two districts. Well, actually in the green district. Then that is our new map that we have turned into the Department of Justice. Every 10 years, as you all know, there's a census, and based on that census, you have to either redistrict or not, depending on whether or not you have grown during that 10-year period. Well, the city of Noonan grew 104% in the 10-year period from 20 to 2010, which caused us to need to redistrict. The area that is in the, I'm going to call it salmon or pink or whatever color, on the extreme right, that area was represented by Clayton Hicks under the new map, under the old map, and it grew by some 22,000 individuals. The definition of one man, one vote that the Department of Justice looks for didn't really hold true when one of our council members represented about 22,000 of the 34,000 people in our city. So we redistricted, and this is what we've got. Now, the interesting thing is that it's still a map that allows us to have 7 people on council, because each district has 2 representatives. And then the mayor, of course, is at large, so that gives us our 7. But this year, because we need that other representative out in that heavily populated area, in order to get the one man, one vote, we're going to have an election also in that area. So for 2 years, we're going to have 8 people on council. Because in the yellow district, George Alexander is here today as one of my other council members. Is there another council? I didn't see another council member come in. In the yellow district, George lives in that district with Cynthia Jenkins and Bob Coggin. So the light went on. She went. So in 2 years, when it's time for them to have, for the election cycle to come around again, George is smiling. It's obviously set up so that one of the 3 in that district won't be on council anymore. I mean, it's just that simple. I mean, I don't know, George, and that's as rough as it gets, I guess. I mean, you can't, you've got a situation where each district, again, will have 2 people in it. And the pink will have Clayton Hicks if he decides to run again. He's not up this year, so that is an open seat in the pink district, by the way. I wanted to make sure you understood that. So it will be Clayton Hicks and whoever is in that open seat Cynthia, George, and Bob in the yellow, and Rhodes and Ray in the green. And then after a 2-year period, and we flesh out what happens in or the citizens do, in the yellow district, then we'll go back to 7 people. And we're waiting to hear if the Department of Justice likes that idea. So stay tuned. They have 90 days. I'm not sure what the timeline is at this point. There will be an election in November. Whether they approve it or not, we may have to run on the old map, but there will be an election in November. One other quick update on a project that's obvious to many of you who travel up and down Highway 29 there at Sprayberry Road. That project is coming to an end. Should be coming to an end within the next 2 or 3 weeks, we hope. There are just a couple of last things that need to be done. Project looks good. It looks like it's going to make sense there to be able to go straight across the street instead of taking your life in your own hands as you make that abrupt turn up Roscoe Road. So we're proud of that. Let me stop there and ask if there are any questions. I appreciate the opportunity to be here today. Surely there's something we can discuss about the city of Newnan. Anyone?
It's too early.
It's too early. And I told them I would let you out early, and I think I have. Yes, sir.
Do you have any opinion on where you foresee the growth going for the next 10 years?
Yes, I continue to see, I don't see much annexation for the city. We typically don't go out and ask for annexation to happen. There are a couple of things before us now, but they're small items that kind of clean up areas. But over the next 10 years, I don't see us getting back to the rapid growth that we had over the 10 years from 20 to 2010. I just don't think the economy supports it at this point. I do see continued steady growth as we move through the existing inventory. Even though we've got housing starts on the increase, the city of Newnan, I don't know the last number that I looked at, but the city of Newnan has several hundred, high hundreds, of developed, platted lots, subdivision lots on the ground where houses have not been built. So there's a lot of that out there before the banking industry or any investor that I know or developer I know would be willing to take the risk to continue to develop more lots. I mean, there's plenty of lots available to build on. So that's what I see, and I hope I'm wrong on the slow side, but that's what I see. Anyone? Yes, sir. Police station, I think we're online. Haskell can help me with that. Haskell stepped out. He's heard all this before. I think we're online for the end of next year or the spring of the next to finish that up, from what I've heard. I mean, we've picked the site, as I said earlier, and we've got folks online. The program manager is online, and we're talking to architects and contractors now. So we're going to move forward quickly with that. That is a SPLOST-funded project, and we're going to advance fund it so that we can move forward with the project and pay ourselves back as we collect the SPLOST money. Mr. President, how are you? Good.
Keith, the West Georgia project.
Yes.
What's the time frame students could possibly?
West Georgia project, we are supposed to have all of our final papers and agreements to us on our meeting May the 14th, which we will sign. We've agreed to everything. And then the county has one last thing, I believe, to sign. And it looks like, help me with the time frame here, it wouldn't be January of 14, but probably fall of 14. If we could accelerate it today, it may fall into January of 15. But we initially thought it was fall of 14, but with the delays we've had, it probably is going to be January 15 for that campus to be open. Anything else? thank you so much for allowing me to come and speak to you this morning. Appreciate it. Thank you.
This is $10,000.
I can use that, yes.
And I wanted to let you know that myself, I work 24/7 to help keep Noonan clean and beautiful. I guess I'm introducing Glenn at this point. Nope, I'm not introducing Glenn. I'm going to introduce Lana Mobley with NuLink.
Several of you did not have the opportunity to put your card in the fishbowl today. So while Lisa's doing that, I wanted to say that yesterday was Earth Day, in case you didn't know. And we had the opportunity to film a segment of two very large, well-known companies in town being a part of keeping Noonan beautiful. Martin Plyer at Grinzabach and Bradley Downs from Cargill got a group of their folks, and we joined them in the parking lot at Grinzabach. And they put on their vests and got their little things, I don't know what you call them, that, pick up trash. And it is amazing what Martin told me this morning they found on the road behind Walmart. Tires, deck chairs, fire extinguishers. And of course I said, do you have a new couch now in your house? Did you take all that home? But when you think about what all of us could do, there were probably 25 of y'all that did that. And they did it that yesterday afternoon, and it made such a difference. So I want to encourage, after being a part of that and just seeing what little they did, but what an impact it made, I cannot agree more with Keith that we all should get together and do that. And also, and I'm not sure if Andy's going to talk about this or not, but Chick-fil-A LeaderCast, there are already 50 pre-registered. I want to encourage all of you to sign up, and you get a 10% discount with the NuLink code to do that. We are not only going to be able to see leaders from all across the country, but I will be facilitating about a 15-20 minute question and answers session of 4 local leaders that will be very interesting. So not only are we going to see national well-known leaders, but we're going to drill it down into some local folks that I think is going to be very intriguing for you all. That's going to be a day that you are not going to want to miss. I know it's hard to take off all day, but it's not that expensive. Maybe you come for the morning or the afternoon session. So I encourage you to do that. And lastly, before I draw, in case you haven't seen our new ad campaign, it is 1, 2 free. Sounds like I'm a child and can't speak clearly to say my numbers. 1, 2 free. If you get cable and internet, you will get home phone service free for a year. So you can't beat that. So pick up one of these flyers on the table. And our gift today is a $50 gift card from QVC. Now, I know all you guys in the audience there are going, I don't watch QVC. Well, guess what? You can use this on their website, and they have all kinds of fun stuff that you guys would like to use. So, Guy Ward, BB&T. You get to go shopping. Thank you.
Everybody loves NuLink. I have NuLink at my house. What a wonderful, wonderful, what do we call that? Cable? Broadband is the new word now. I want to take a second to introduce Mr. Glenn Gold, but real quick, I see Miss Linda Kirkpatrick over there with the Community Welcome House. They had an event last week that was just awesome, Dancing with the Stars. Was anybody in here dancing? Does anybody want to dance now? Anyway, wonderful job, and you do a great job. Thank you. Mr. Glenn Gold.
This is $40,000. Thank you, Danny, for emceeing today. We really appreciate it.
Hello, I'm Michael Bass with Piedmont Healthcare. Delighted that you're going to be joining us on May 1st at the Noonan Coweta Chamber Tournament. Just understand, though, the best you're going to be able to do is second place. Enjoy the day.
I'm not certain, but I think game on. For those of you who are playing in the tournament, there was a similar challenge from Nathan Nipper. I think we'll see that in a coming email, but you don't want to miss the 28th Annual Chamber Golf Classic. How many of you are either playing or going to have an expo or just planning on visiting? Raise your hand. Okay, if you don't have your hand in the air, obviously you're missing something, so make sure that you join us as well. We also want to thank, of course, Piedmont Healthcare and Canongate Golf for being our platinum presenting sponsors. They do this every year and really make it possible for us to have an outstanding event, so thank you. We also want to thank all the sponsors of the golf tournament. They're listed on the screen next or on either side of me. We appreciate your support because we really couldn't do it without the support of everyone that's involved, so it's going to be a fantastic day. If you aren't playing, still come out. You can be a spectator, visit all 36 of the holes with exhibitor booths. There'll be other specialty sponsors throughout the day. Last year was my first full year at the golf tournament, and Danny was our golf committee chair last year, and everyone knows Danny's a man, right? Yeah, absolutely. But he said if you leave the golf tournament hungry, then you've done something wrong. There is plenty of food. So make sure that you come out and enjoy that. And there might be something to drink too. I'm not real sure, but I think there will be. After the golf at 5 p.m., come join us at Canongate on White Oak on the practice tee under the big tent. Piedmont Healthcare Business After Hours. We'll have live music from Garland Kelly. You heard some of his music on the way in today, and you'll hear one of his songs on the way out. Great food, drinks, music, and of course, we will have the Toyota of Noonan alternative golf ball drop. Walt Gutierrez will go up in a helicopter with 1,000 numbered golf balls. He will drop them from the helicopter, and you have an opportunity to win $1,500 in cash because all you need to do is buy a $10 ticket. And if your number is the same number on the ticket as the ball that is closest to the pin, you win that money. It is a great investment for $10. How many of you here in the room have golf ball tickets still to sell? Raise your hand or just stand up. Let's do that. If you have golf ball tickets to sell, now see, there's plenty of people here to sell those tickets too, and if you're not standing, expect one of these folks to visit you before you leave. I'm not saying they'll guard the door or anything, but I think we do want to sell those tickets. So as you can see, we have some tickets to sell. That means your odds are even better of winning that money. So make sure you get your ticket today. Also, with having to do with the golf tournament, we are still seeking door prizes. If you want to donate something that'll be given away to the golfers, please see Sally Anderson. Sally, please stand up again so they know to visit you. And you can drop those off at the chamber office by Thursday morning. So please let us know that. We want to get you the recognition you deserve for doing that. Small Business of the Year. Remember, next month on the 21st at the NuLink Early Bird Forum. By the way, just so you're aware, our NuLink Early Bird Forum is generally speaking the fourth Tuesday of the month, but next month it'll be the third, and that's because the fourth Tuesday is the day after Memorial Day. So we're going to have the Southtown Motors Small Business of the Year Awards on Tuesday the 21st. The committee has narrowed it down to about 17 or 18. For those of you who remember, last year we had 10 finalists, and that's what we're attempting to do right now. And they had some questions from some of the participants, so we're still waiting on a little bit of feedback, but you can look for an announcement this week of the top 10 finalists. So look forward to that and look forward to seeing you on May 21st. Ambassadors, I know that we mentioned the ambassadors earlier today, and congratulations to Samantha as Ambassador of the Quarter, perennial first quarter Ambassador of the Quarter winner. But if you're an ambassador, would you please stand and be recognized right now? These folks work really hard for you. Let's give them a round of applause. And if you weren't one of the ones standing, make sure you visit one of these folks. Tell them thank you for all the hard work they do, but also find out how they can help you enrich your chamber experience. We now have a weekly hot deal from the chamber. You've probably seen that email coming out. You'll continue to see it. You want to make sure you jump on these quickly because they only last for a short period of time. They're very hot, so get them while they're hot. Bob Reed, where are you? There's Bob Reed. Thank you so much for our awards today. You do such a wonderful job for us. Thank you. If you have award needs, I encourage you to see Bob. Carol Ann Fields is over there at that table. She is the person you're going to want to see. If you want to travel with the Chamber, or actually the entire community, we have 2 trips coming up. We have China in the fall, which it's not closed out, is it? It's just, yeah, absolutely. So you can still go to China in the fall. Or if you prefer Tuscany, you can go in the spring. Just see Carol Ann. She can give you all the details. And speaking of Carol Ann, also, we have the Young Professionals Morning Buzz, which is this Thursday. It's going to be at the Chamber still? Okay. And Jim Beach from Atlanta, the Entrepreneur Center, I believe is what his company is. They are experts at helping you understand how to develop a 30-second killer intro, which some people call an elevator speech. If you are young at heart, or just old and crotchety, come on out on Thursday, because we want to make sure that, that you are able to introduce yourself in an effective way. And before we draw for the Chamber pot, I just want to mention that May is Small Business Month. You'll see on the screen here a copy of a postcard that you're going to be seeing very shortly. Part of that May Small Business Month is, of course, what Kathy mentioned earlier in the program. But we also have on May 6th, we have a iOffice training with an iPad, iPhone specialty training program with Juanita McDowell. She's from Atlanta, and I sat in a session with her a couple of months ago actually now. She's amazing. If you have an iPad, an iPhone, or even thinking about having one, you definitely want to attend this session, because she'll show you how to do things you never imagined that'll make you far more efficient, make that tool far more valuable. So attend that. Then I believe it's on the 14th, we have Gina Carr, the Tribe Builder, coming. She's going to help you understand social media in a whole new way. Things have changed quite a bit just in the last year. As an example to that, there's something out there called Clout. If you've never heard of it, then you probably want to attend on May 14th. And then, of course, we wrap up with the Small Business of the Year Awards on the 21st. So make sure that you come out and attend those programs. And then finally, after May, you're going to start to see you're going to see this announcement pretty soon, but we're going to move to a summer schedule. We know that summer is hectic for you, just like it is for us. We want to make sure that you get the opportunity to take advantage of things that are valuable to you. And so we're going to do it in a whole new way, to where you're going to be able to be far more effective with your Chamber membership. So watch for those informational emails. And finally, our Chamber pot, which is at $1,200. Who wants $1,200? Oh, come on, who wants $1,200? There we go, that's a little better. Michelle, would you do the honors? Does everyone know how this works? You have to be here to win? Michelle's going to draw her own name. Vicki Winkles, Circle W Express. Oh, all right, we're going to draw for $600. Is that okay? One time, that's it. That's all we're doing. Rick Davidson, the Joy FM. Okay, so if you know Rick or Vicki, please let them know they missed out on a bunch of money by not being here this morning. We want to thank you so much for being here this morning. Thank you, Mayor Brady, for your presentation today and your time. We appreciate that. Danny Beck, thank you for hosting our program. Go out and make it a great day, everyone. Thanks so much. Bye now.
When I'm with you, you take me to another place. Feels like I'm floating up in outer space because of you.